You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Hey guys, how is it all going? So, thank you so much for joining me for what is the Flash movie review. And to get into a very quick plot synopsis of the Flash is Barry Allen discovers a new power that he can actually travel back in time now. So he uses his newfound ability to go back in time and save his mother, who was murdered when he was a child. But with doing that, he's messed up timelines and changed events, and unfortunately General Zod and his Kryptonian army are back, but there's no Superman, there's no Wonder Woman, there's no Aquaman. They don't exist. But what does exist is a Batman, and he goes to get help from that world's Batman to help try and stop the Kryptonian army. That's the very quick plot synopsis of it. There's so much more to this movie than that. But with diving into that, I'd be diving into spoilers. And this is a spoiler-free review, guys, so don't worry about that. So I was really looking forward to this movie, mainly for the reason of Michael Keaton as Batman being back, because the 1989 Batman movie really holds such a special place in my heart. It's like a really nostalgic movie for me. And I loved it as a kid. So having Michael Keaton's Batman back was the major selling point for me to go and watch this movie. And I am happy to say, guys, that overall, I pretty much enjoyed The Flash. I thought it was good. It does have its problems. And I will dive into that later on in the review, because I always like to talk about my positives first. But overall, I think this movie is a really good time, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out. So, what I like about The Flash is, and let's just get this one out the way right now, Michael Keaton is back, baby, as Batman. And he is, by far, for me, the best thing in this movie. The moment he is on screen, this movie ramps up. The action scenes with him are fantastic. Just the moment he puts on that suit and that Batman 89 theme kicks in, my inner 9-year-old was geeking out. And I loved seeing the action scenes with Michael Keaton's Batman in this, because obviously now they can do so much more than what they could do back in 1989 and in 1992 when he was Batman. So seeing him kick ass in such an awesome way was just highly satisfying. And the moment he put on that suit, man, just that Batman mood, just that, like, you know, he just, oh, he is Batman, and Michael Keaton is Batman. He just filled the suit so well, and he was just straight back into that same Batman attitude that we had in 89, 92. And it was just, like I say, highly satisfying to see. I think everyone does a good job in this movie as well. I think the young lady that played Supergirl, she was really good, actually. I would love to have seen more of her in this movie, but also I hope she can carry on now in James Gunn's universe and be Supergirl in that universe, because I think she's got a lot of potential, and also, I'm not going to lie, she was very easy on the eyes as well. So, yeah, there is that. But she did a really good job. I have to say it, Ezra Miller, I know there's a lot of shit surrounding this guy, and a lot of people won't go to watch this movie because of him and all that fucking crazy stuff that he did. And I understand, I do, but I'm not going to dive into that. I'm going to separate, you know, like the art from the artist, or artist from the art, or that kind of spiel, you know, and just talk about him on his performance in this movie. And I have to admit, he is really good in this film, and he plays two versions of Barry Allen. He plays like the version that we know, and then a Barry Allen when he's like 18 years old, I believe. I will touch on more of that a little bit later on when I'm talking about my negatives, but he does a fantastic job portraying two Barry Allens, he really does. And he was really good in this movie. He really was. Would I like to see him carry on as the Flash? I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted when it comes to that. But if we don't see him again as the Flash, he did a good job in this movie, so there is that. Also, I have to admit, and it surprised me, there's a lot of heart and emotion in this movie, especially when it comes to the relationship between Barry Allen and his mother and like his father, his family, but especially with his mother. For like the whole reason for why he's going back is to save his mum. You know, and I lost my mum when I was young. I was 21 years old when my mum passed away. So anytime a movie has like an emotional theme when it comes to like a mother and a son, especially when a son is like trying to save his mother or something, you know, it actually it touches like a part of my heart. It really does, and it actually gets me every time. And I'm not afraid to say, guys, I teared up a couple of times in this movie, particularly in the third act near the end. Without giving anything away, it really did touch me, and yeah. I had to pretend that I wasn't crying. I was just, you know, maybe had a little bit of a cold or something. But yeah, it surprised me just how emotional this film actually is. And it does have a lot of heart. It does. So, to dive into my negatives, I will say this. The film is at least a good half an hour to 40 minutes too long. I don't think this movie needed to be like, what was it, 2 hours, 20 minutes? I think it could have just been like a solid hour and 50 minutes, maybe 2 hour movie, because there are moments in this movie that just drag on a little bit too long. And also, as I just touched on it before, that Miller played the two Barry Allens and actually did a good job. And he does do a good job. He does that good of a job for one of the Barry Allens that, oh my God, that character is so annoying. 18-year-old Barry Allen. Oh my God. And when I say hate, I mean with a capital H. I hated this character. Hated him. I wanted him off screen so fast. At one point, I'm like, why? Why have we got two Barry Allens on? Why? And for a good chunk of the movie, he's particularly like kind of like the just under the midway point, you're just stuck with two Barry Allens. And it started to like really grate me at one point, even to the point where I was like, I'm not enjoying this movie anymore. Like, just let's get to it. Let's just can we get to Michael Keaton's Batman, please? I know he's coming. You know what I mean? And it just lagged a little bit for me. But then the moment Michael Keaton comes on screen, the movie just gears up and just goes up a level and just becomes highly entertaining from that moment till the end, pretty much. So there is a bit of a lull for me anyway, like kind of midway through. But then, like I say, once Michael Keaton's Batman's in it, it just picks up massively. And also with the third act, I think gets kind of dragged out a little bit as well. It kept going on like a little bit too long for me, and I was kind of like, yeah, come on, can we, you know, can we just kind of wrap this up a little bit? But I'm kind of nitpicking at that one, to be fair. And also, a lot has been made about the CGI in this movie. I will say this. There are moments where it's really, really good. And especially with the two Barry Allens. I mean, God, it was brilliant. Like, you really... You know, I actually thought it was like two different people. It's that good. And it's like, no, it's the same actor playing just two different roles. It was so well done. So I commend her for that. The problem is, there are some really, really dodgy special effects work in this, especially when it comes to faces. And I'm not going to dive any more into that because it is spoiler territory, but the moment this pops up in the movie, guys, you will know what I'm talking about. It doesn't look great at all. Like, it really, really doesn't. It looks bad, in my opinion. So I think the special effects could have been better regarding that. But like I say, with the two Barry Allens, and like for most of the battle that takes place, it's actually quite good. So there is that. So overall, guys, I do highly recommend that you go and check out The Flash. It's probably one of the better DC movies that we've actually had for a while. So I don't know where they're going to go forward with this one now. I mean, we've got Aquaman next, haven't we? Apparently, that's not very good from what I'm hearing. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I'm going to give The Flash a positive score. I highly recommend it, guys. I'm going to give The Flash a 3.5 out of 5. So, guys, have you seen The Flash already? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Are you going to go and watch it soon? Are you excited for it? Guys, whatever it is, please leave a comment below. It is absolutely always a pleasure hearing from you. And, as always, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye now.